In the last chapter of Hebrews, the author gives some closing exhortations. Some of these refer to the circumstances of the letter, but are nevertheless good encouragement for us today. For the original letter, the readers were being tempted to go back into Judaism, to treat Jesus as a good teacher, but not as a savior. So in this concluding chapter, the author makes a contrast between the various points of Judaism and Christianity. The author encourages the readers, verse 31, "Therefore, let us go to him outside the camp and bear the reproach he endured. If he was willing to do that for us, then we can join him in his place of rejection, shame, and even pain." Now, most of us don't have physical pain because of persecution, but we may experience a little embarrassment. We may get tired or bored or grow weary in doing stuff. We sit on the sofa and wait for the end to come, whether it's death or whether it's the return of Christ. But no matter what our temptation is, we know that Christ has been tempted in all points just as we are, and we can join him in resisting it. Let us go out to him and bear the boredom he endured. Let us go out and join him in the weariness that he endured. And why? Verse 14 tells us, "For here we have no lasting city, but we seek the city that is to come." This world will pass away. It is temporary. But if we want our lives to count for anything, we need to look to the future, to something that lasts forever. The stuff that we do for God's kingdom now may not look like very much, may not seem very significant, but if it's done for God's kingdom, it has eternal value. In God's kingdom, we celebrate the little people, the small accomplishments, the value of a life of faithfulness, even if it didn't seem to amount to much at the time. God values each of his children. He knows we are weak, maybe even handicapped. So he rejoices in even the small accomplishments, just as we might for one of our own children. God is not unjust. He will not forget even the small victories we might have once in a while. Maybe it's just turning off the TV and phoning a friend. God notices the small things. Why? Because he loves each one of us. Not because of how much we do for him, but simply because we are his children. Verse 15. "Through him, then, let us continually offer up a sacrifice of praise to God. That is the fruit of lips that acknowledge his name." And we shouldn't be afraid to say that we will follow Christ. Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God.